Welcome to the Femdom Revolution podcast, your destination for discovering the heart of authentic, ethical, female-led relationships. If you're a dom seeking to lead with purpose or a sub searching for deeper trust and surrender, this space is for you. I'm Amaya Lucia, and I'm here to guide you toward empowered relationships that elevate and inspire. Hello, boys and ladies, if you're listening. This is part 2 of the Devotional check-in. This is Amaya, and I'm here with Chalice and Essie.
Hello.
Hi. If you are just coming in from the first part of the episode, you might already be grounded, but we're going to take it a little bit deeper. And if you're just starting here, well, welcome. We're going to start our grounding now. So, wherever you are, this is a time to create space. And if you can, if it's safe to do so, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes with me and check in with your body. Scan it from your head all the way down to your toes. This is not about control. You're letting go. You're paying attention. You're bringing presence. And as you're checking in with your body, I want you to bring your attention to where your breath is. Is it shallow? Is it deep? This isn't about judgment, just attention. I want you to bring your attention to any areas in your body that are holding tension, that are stiff, that are uncomfortable. Again, this is not about control. This is just about bringing your attention to your inner world. Good. It's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Now, I want you to breathe with me. I'll guide it. So wait until I give the word. All right. You're going to start by breathing out. Breathe all the air out. Good. Now breathe in through your nose. Into your stomach. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Let it go out through your mouth. Breathe all the air out. Feeling the air leave without forcing. Now take your second deep breath in through your nose. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. As you're letting it go, let go of any thoughts that don't serve you. Let go of anything that's pulling your attention from this moment. Third deep breath in. Good. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. As you're letting it go, let go of anything that is outside of this time where you are here, you are present, you are listening, you are allowing yourself to be led deeper into your devotion. Now, open your eyes. And we'll begin the episode.
Thank you, Amaya. Mm-hmm. Oh,
do love me some deep breaths.
Yeah, me too. Let's see how I can handle a podcast now. So I'm all super relaxed. Feeling devoted. So on our last episode, we talked a lot about your physical and practical devotion and the way that you are presenting yourself, right? And some of that will bleed over into this next round. We're going to talk a lot about like the emotional and energetic aspect of your devotion. Okay. And to bring it back to what we had mentioned on part 1, if you didn't listen to it, you might want to go back and listen to that first. But if you continue, I'm just going to give you a little debrief. We had talked about how your devotion to your goddess, I don't think I said it this way in the last episode, but in many ways it starts with you. Like, you need to be devoted to your own well-being, mental, emotional, physical, so that you can devote yourself to a goddess, and so that what you are giving to her doesn't come at the cost of your well-being, because then it's not a holistic offering. And some doms won't care, but you happen to be here with 3 doms who do care.
Mm-hmm.
So your emotional state is important. Your energetic state or spiritual state is important. So my first question for you is, have you withheld any emotions this week? Like, tried to suppress them or ignore them, or did not express them when the moment called for it, for whatever reason. And this could have been happy things, joy, enthusiasm, excitement, but it could have also been some heavier things, vulnerability, which may or may not be considered heavy, but yeah, some things that are less comfortable, like vulnerability, sadness, grief, fear, doubt. Have you withheld or suppressed any of these feelings in this past week? And I know these aren't fun questions, but the clearer you are with yourself, the clearer you can be with your goddess, and the cleaner your devotion is.
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not it's a feeling between you and me, if you are harboring something, as you're stuck in some way with your emotions, we can feel that. We can feel that when we're talking to you. We can see it in your eyes. We feel it. And so you're bringing that, whether or not you're trying to, because when you suppress stuff, you're really not trying to be like hanging out with it. But what you do is kind of trap yourself with it. When you do that, you're bringing it to the altar with you, basically. And so it doesn't mean you won't feel those things. It doesn't mean you'll feel comfortable expressing them. It doesn't mean you'll express them in a healthy way at the start either. Like, all of this is a process, but when you're working to honor your emotions, those can also be something that you actually bring to the altar, because there are gems in there and gifts in there if you bring them in the right way. And it gives you something for you and your dom to connect over and potentially work through together. So some could say that even your emotions can heighten or deepen your devotion. So ask yourself, have you withheld anything this week? And what was it? And then maybe start looking at how you can embrace that more moving forward.
And I also want to express that withholding can also feel or look like expressing something, but expressing it inauthentically. So if you are used to like expressing a lot, or, putting a lot of energy out there, that can be a compensation for what's really going on. So this is like a call to attention to like that place in yourself that is true, that is connected. It's like a call to connection, and it's going to show up in whatever way that it's meant to show up. So this is just me giving you an indicator of, what to pay attention to on both sides of the scale, so you can connect with, are you really connected and expressing yourself authentically?
I love that add-on, that point. I'll give you a couple of examples. So I've known not just men, not just subs, people I think I was one of these people probably at some point where I didn't want the world to see the part of me that was hurting. I didn't want the world to see the part of me that was angry. I didn't want the world to see any of that because I felt shame when I would express those things. I would prefer to not, or would have preferred to not. So I would present like happy and cheerful and sweet and kind because I thought it made everybody else feel better, and it might have made most people feel better, but I have a feeling that there were people that saw that that was like a facade. And I have a feeling because I see that when there are subs that come to me and it's just like over the top. Everything's good. Everything's positive. Everything's like this. It's great.
Yeah.
It's this. It's that. That is so suspicious to me. Like if it doesn't feel genuine, if somebody's really in that state, you can feel it. That's not suspicious. But if somebody's not fully in that state, but their words say that they are, it's like super suspicious.
A distraction.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask what's going on because it's obviously really good.
And also a good sign or bad sign that they themselves are so in denial about whatever else is going on. Like they don't want to go into that box of stuff, box of emotions or darkness or whatever it might be. And so it's in that way, the positive, I'm using the big fat air quotes around the positive expression is actually more of a problem because it's not giving room for what's really going on to be cycled and to be moved. It's like clogging the channels. It's like turning the TV on really, really loud so you're not hearing the baby cry. And then I have a sub who genuinely one of the strongest humans that I know. And I know that he thinks sometimes that he's a complainer and he's negative and like I don't see that. I can see why he might think that, but I don't think that. Like there was a time when I gave some feedback on, and that's the line where it's actually complaining. But I would way rather hear the truth when I'm with him about where he's at, even if it's like not a happy thing. I'm feeling down. This is how I'm feeling. Oh, this thing came up and I'm having a hard time. Like, or if he shows up in the Discord and he shares where he's at, and it's like, I would way rather have somebody that's real and like is available to be honest about their emotions, because boy, does that set a great example for anybody present. It makes me feel safer sharing those parts of myself. So it's like, it's so good and so healthy. I'd way rather have somebody be real than like be fake, and because they're afraid to bring down the vibe, because fake brings down the vibe, not the processing of real emotion. Processing of real emotion might shift the vibe for sure, but like then you're going somewhere. It's not like you're not stuck in it. And I find it's usually worth going through whatever that tunnel is to get to the light. So
yeah, and I love what you said, that it makes you feel safer to share what's real, because that's so true.
Yeah,
it's like we can feel it. We can feel when it's fake, and then maybe even on an unconscious level, there is like this. Maybe it's quote unquote not okay to be real here. Maybe like this person isn't ready for my realness.
exactly.
Yeah. And so, that's our responsibility to determine how much of that we want to bring to the dynamic. But boy, does it feel good when we can stretch out and really let that come through. And if you want to hold space for that, you have to be doing it for yourself.
Yeah, which means doing a little inventory. What things might have come up this week that you tried to shove down? Did you? If you didn't, well, super congratulations. I know I did.
Super congratulations. Don't know if there's a week that I look back and say that there isn't something that I suppressed or withheld, or, was some imbalance that I can make an adjustment to in how I'm relating. So
keep it real with yourself.
Yeah.
Just be aware of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. This also is not permission to beat yourself up about it. It's just, okay, I see that. And you can take that with you moving forward.
Okay. Next question for you boys is, where have you let resentment, distraction, or entitlement creep in? And I want to add on, like, where have you let entitlement or expectations creep into your relationship.
Or just relationships in
Yes,
general.
relationships in general.
Which includes your relationship with yourself and your relationship with life.
Yes. So I think this is a pretty good question. And I want, like, what's calling to me right now is the entitlement and expectations, because this is something that can happen so easily, especially when things are going well. Because relationships are created in these small moments. And sometimes people can, in general, it can be a thing where there's a tendency to get a little ahead, or, when an inch is given, you take a mile. And I'm not saying you listening, just like in general, this can be a thing. So what I'm trying to say is that one moment does not speak for any other moment. So you can have this, and this applies to like good and bad. And so, if you had an experience where you messed up, that doesn't mean that you can't make an adjustment and make things better in the next moment, in the next interaction where there's an opportunity for that. And since we're talking about entitlement and expectations, sometimes it's so easy to just assume, like start making assumptions, which is actually part of the 4 agreements. One of those being not to make assumptions. And when things are going good, it can be so easy to make assumptions and then expect special treatment, expect certain energy from the relationship and certain entitlements from the relationship. And what that does is that holds somebody else to these expectations. It holds,
or else.
Or else it's going to be a bad time, or else things are going to not be good anymore. And it's important to allow room for the relationship to develop naturally, genuinely, authentically. And it's a balancing act. It's literally like walking a tightrope to find that balance in every moment in the relationship, which on one hand, maybe that could be intimidating, but on another hand, it's really beautiful and really freeing because it allows for so much range. It allows for things to grow and develop instead of fitting inside of this perfect little box that feels good to you. Like that, life does not fit into this perfect little box that feels good to you all the time.
How
life is everything.
Yeah. Right? Little boxes on the hillside.
And and when it comes to things that we like, we can want it to be that way, right? But when it comes to things that we don't like, well, now we don't want things to fit into this little box anymore. But you can't just hold life to this one specific experience or feeling that you want to have. You have to acknowledge that it's a moving thing. And so you end up trapping yourself with that mindset. So
thank you. Yeah, you just connected a few dots, and I hope that I remember all the points that I want to make off of this. But like, when we're speaking of devotion and like the box, and I'm only devoted if I can be devoted in the way that fits into this box that pleases my cock. Like, that is not devotion.
No.
What do you think that is? That's very selfish and not devotion. Like, you are devoted when it feels good for you and it's comfortable and it's something you enjoy. And you are devoted when it's something that's being asked of you, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not your favorite thing in the whole wide world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can think of your parents, like, hopefully you had wonderful parents. I really hope that you did. But like, good parents do what needs to be done for their children, regardless of how much they like it or not. Can you imagine if parents lacked that devotion? And it was like, unfortunately, there are humans that deal with that, because there are people that lack that. And it's sad. Like, so if we can see it in that context, that's very sad. You're in a position where you can learn to give devotion, and you can learn also like the pitfalls of having like a this kind of devotion makes my dick happy and I don't want anything else other than that, you can like learn the pitfalls of that in a pretty safe environment, because the worst thing that happens is, well, you fall out of a wonderful woman's orbit, which is also pretty sad, but you have another chance. Like, you're unlikely to ruin a life, but like, you can also really, really nurture life and relationships if you can learn the art of devotion. And that's not something that is in exchange for some entitlement. That's like, also, you should be giving it freely. So if like you think that you're giving devotional energy, this offering, but you're expecting or you feel entitled to something in return, it wasn't devotion. You can pretty much expect, but you shouldn't, that your relationship will grow and thrive. And like I say, you can pretty much expect it because that does seem to be the result of like beautiful, pure devotional energy. But also, if you're doing it with the expectation of that, it taints it and can like hinder that exact thing from happening, hinder its growth, right? And then also the piece with devotion and resentment. It can be challenging giving so much of yourself. If you are, and this goes back to the you need to be taking care of yourself too part. Because if you're giving devotional energy, but you're not taking care of yourself, it's also very easy to fall into a space of resentment. And so that is part of the equation. If you notice resentment come through, you need to look at that and you need to see where you can balance that out, because likely it's like a self-love thing. Like, you need to be preparing yourself so that you can actually handle the level of devotion that you're trying to offer and give. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well said.
That's what I got to add.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of devotion and emotions and energy and etc., of course, we needed to hit it home that you need to be looking at yourself, your own emotional well-being and your own energetic well-being. And as the devoted one that you are, some of you, are you tuning in to the emotional state of your goddess? Are you open to her cues? Are you inquiring? Is it something that is on your priority list at all? Because, as this goddess, this energetic being, she has, her whole emotional world that she's navigating through. And it's going to vary depending on, which woman you are in relationship with, but she will have, her ways of expressing those emotions, of voicing, her needs, of where she could use some support from you, of where she could use space to be herself. And I can't remember if it was this episode or the last one, but we were talking about the more authentically you connect with yourself, your goddess can feel that. So she can feel that space to be authentic in the relationship. And so that includes like her emotional state. Are you fostering a place where it is safe for her to be however she is? Is she fiery? Is she nice and warm? Is she feeling colder? Does she have some things that she needs to talk out in the relationship? When you notice a shift in her emotions, are you more prone to pretending you didn't notice so you don't have to deal with it? Or are you actively participating and, taking responsibility as best you can for what, whatever that may entail?
I love it.
Beautiful.
You don't want to be one of those men that's afraid of an emotional woman, although it's very easy to be, because emotional women are,
They can be scary.
Yeah, a bit of a force of nature.
Yeah.
But you don't want to like shy away from the moment, even if you're kind of afraid. Like, don't shy away from a moment to support a woman, especially a dom, if you're in that kind of a relationship with her. And especially if she is showing you that part of herself. If you were to back down, shy away, run away, ignore, in whatever way not be prepared to handle that moment, it would be noted on your chart. No, it would be noted, and you would lose access to a portion of that woman's energy indefinitely, pretty much, until you prove yourself capable and worthy of that. And those that are like subs that are proactive and that check in and care and are tracking and noting like the emotional cycles or state of the woman or the dom. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's one of my favorite things in the world. I have a couple examples that come to my mind right now. I have one sub who, when he would plan trips to visit, he was tracking my menstrual cycle. And he would plan the trips according to that.
Wow.
I know, so smart.
Nice. That's great.
And I learned this because at some point I had to change the dates, and he was like, "Are you sure those dates would work? I think you're going to start your period." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're probably right. And also those are the dates that I need, so you'll have to be okay with that." Yeah. But that was very sweet. And last night, I didn't tell you guys because I went straight to my room pretty much. Yesterday, just for context, everyone, 1, I'm PMSing. 2, I had slept like 3 hours the night before, so I was like tired, kind of touchy, cranky. I wasn't like in general mad, but like I was ready to cave up and like go to my cozy spot. And the sub that I had a call with last, shout out if you're hearing this, he has a way of like, it's really amazing because we don't have a lot of like in between texting, like back and forth between calls, but somehow like I know you're listening and you tune, like you really attune to me, and I don't understand fully yet if you're really feeling like what is going on with me, or if you're just feeling what I need and you feel inspired to offer that, or all of the above. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it's beautiful, and I'm excited to explore it more with you. But he was like, "Oh, what are you doing after this?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm probably going to my room." And he was like, "I'm gonna send tribute for like a half an hour call, but I want you to spend that with yourself meditating." And I was like, "Oh, thank you," because I needed that time for myself and that extra push, like confirmation of like, please
go do this.
Make this space for yourself, like focused meditation space, like do that. And I did, and it was so good. Like I really needed it. And I woke up, and again, for the context, I'm just going through some stuff, I'm PMSing and things are coming up and I'm feeling my feelings, and I'm just like with a little bit more on my plate in that world than like I usually feel like I am. And I don't have like a consistent morning practice right now. And it's been on my radar, like, oh boy, I think that would really help me. I think we've said like, oh boy, like a few times on these episodes. I don't know why.
Oh boy episode.
It's fun. Yeah, I was thinking I really need to get back in the habit of it. So in fact, I left my mat out last night because I'm not really too afraid of the rabbits chewing on this one. I'll knock on wood. And I'm like, that'll be my reminder. In the morning, I'll make some time. And then I woke up to a tribute from another sub that was like such a sweet note, and like with the intention of like, please do something nice for yourself, be gentle with yourself this morning, like do something like good. And I was like, what is going on with these like little affirmations? But yeah, so subs that show like, well, I'll speak to you, listener, when you show that you care about like the emotional well-being of your dom, that goes a long way. When you show that you care about like her energetic body too, like how are you doing? It's not just like mental, it's not just physical, it's like this emotional, energetic side of her too, that you have the opportunity to tend to that. And that's one of the primary things that you can do as a long distance sub, because you're not necessarily there to tend to her physically, although you can pay for massages, and we love that.
Oh yeah.
I love massage subs too. Oh my gosh. Because that's also mind, body, soul too. But yeah, you have a lot of opportunity there, even long distance, because those are bodies that you can't touch physically anyways. You touch that with your heart. So.
Yeah. And yeah, that's so beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. I love it too. It's so precious. Oh my gosh.
And one thing that I will add, because in my own experience, I'm just reflecting on like, yeah, my relationships, and there's like a warming up period also. So I think consistency, like consistently showing that you value that aspect of her. Maybe at first she, doesn't have too much to say when you ask the question, but the consistency will show that you really mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know for me, it's like I had a call today actually with someone, and I did reveal like a deeper truth of how I was feeling than maybe I would have, at the start of our relationship. And so I'm going to be honest, but there's like layers to it, right? Like how much of this experience am I going to share? And so, yeah, I would say be consistent. Don't be pushy.
Mm-hmm.
But just as you consistently let her know that you're available for that, she'll feel that. And then maybe one day when she needs it, she will lean into that. And that is invaluable. That is, priceless.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have like emotional, spiritual bodyguards in my life, like my circle of like inner circle of subs, and that, whoa, dudes, it's serious when dudes pops out of my mouth. When I was starting Creatrix, I had the Creatrix business part. So this is like over 7 years ago because it was before I started it. I was working with a friend, and she was a business coach, and she was helping me lay some stuff out. She was the one that I was accountable to for making like a YouTube video every week or every 2 weeks. I was so mad at some point that I agreed to that. I was like, why did I do that? This is so embarrassing. But it was so good. Like that's what kicked it off. So, but we had talked about this in a way, and I would love if I can find that notebook. I probably have it somewhere about like, she just knows how to ask the right questions. I can't wait for you guys to meet her someday because I love her so much. But she was asking like, do you want to be like working like this or working in this kind of context or this kind of context? And I was like, I see myself with like a good core group of men, like, and maybe some people that are like in a further out orbit, but like, I want to have like a close, safe container. And she drew a dot in the middle, which was me, and drew other dots in like another pen color around me. And it was like a constellation on the paper. And it was like, I'm seeing that now, and I'm connecting it back to then, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I knew this. Yeah. One thing we were playing with, side note, is being, what did we call it? The tantric tour guide. So like that people would come to the area or the country that I live in, and like we would go on like a little excursion or like have a few days of travel. And then obviously in that time frame, at that time, I don't think I had decided on femdom. I was like, I knew I just had to work in the realm of sexuality with men. But yeah, that we'd go on an excursion, a little tour, whatever, and that we'd get to do this inner work. And so technically, I guess that could happen. That could be very fun.
Yeah, I think that sounds really fun.
And it's not just the external tour of like touring a cool country or the jungle or whatever, but it's like the internal tour of yourself.
So I love that.
It's the first time I've heard about this.
Yeah.
All this time.
I know. I don't know where. It was like logged back here, but yeah, it just came up when I said like the ring of bodyguards, and I was like, I have a visual for this. Like I can see it on the paper still, and where we were sitting and talking when we had that conversation. So.
Oh, it's very cool.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was nannying for her son at that time. So we were spending a lot of time together, and it was very helpful. But yeah, imagine that, guys. The family I was nannying for helped me to become a dom. So, okay. All right. So you are devoted, right? Devoted sub, devoted man. You're committed. Commitment isn't something that, all right, you commit one time, you're there. Technically, yes, it can be, and ideally, once you commit, the moment you choose to commit, you stay committed, but you are recommitting over and over and over and over and over again as part of your initial commitment. So, as a sub, if you are devoted to me, if you are devoted to Amaya, Essie, all three of us, another dom, yourself, life, I want you to hone in for a moment. Focus on that commitment. feel your devotion. And maybe this is an answer you get with your heart more than your mind. Okay. Hear the question. Trust your first instinct. What is one thing you can do this week in service? Period. Whether that's, again, in service to a dom or in service to yourself so you can be the man that you need to be. What is one thing you can do this week in service to honor your commitment in your constant recommitment as a man in service, as a devotional man? I want to hear you put it in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to hear, what gems did you pull out of these episodes? How is this going to help you to deepen your devotion? Let us know in the comments. Ask any questions if there's anything you would like some clarity on, because we love these topics and we're happy to answer your questions. Okay, are you ready to serve now? Go to femdomrevolution.com and that will guide you to your destiny. The Our Doms page will give you all the info that you need to get started personally serving one of the Femdom Revolution goddesses.
And for the women, we are working on starting a sisterhood circle, and you can, on our main page at the very bottom, put in your email to get updates on that, what's upcoming. It hasn't started yet, but we're putting it together and we'd love to have you with us.
And technically, if you follow us on Twitter, we do have a little community that's starting there, but the sisterhood circle that we're dreaming up and dreaming into reality is going to be in a different location. But yeah, we want you there too.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who are interested in chastity and key holding, back to that website, femdomrevolution.com/chastity, and you will find all of the information you need, along with some freebies and some free challenges to get you started.
We look forward to connecting with you. Be happy, be well, and stay devoted.
See you next time.
Bye now.